everybody, I'm Nicole from the Haliburton County Public Library, and today we're going to be doing rock family on painted canvas. So, as the title implies, we're going to be making little rock families and putting them on a painted canvas. So here's what it looks like, and here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a canvas, a paintbrush or two, and paint, whatever you want to paint. I'm doing a night scene, so I have some dark colors. You're also going to need a hot glue gun and hot glue sticks and some rock. I have black, larger, dark ones here. I also have smaller white, gray ones and some light pink ones in there as well. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so depending on the size of the rock family you want to do, you can either do it landscape style like this, or you can do it portrait style like that. I'm going to be doing a landscape for it. You kind of got to figure that out before you do the paint. For my paint, I'm just going to do kind of a night sky sunset type of thing. So I have a couple different colors, and I'm just going to dot them onto the canvas and then brush them together. And then you just take your brush and you can always add the color back in, especially if it gets just wiped off. Okay, and then I'm going to let that dry. Before I finish letting this dry, I want to add some light to it as a stars in the sky. So just taking my paintbrush, kind of dipping it in the white here, and then just flicking it onto the paint, to the canvas. And you can even add like little tails to some of the bigger dots as little shooting stars. Now I'm gonna let it dry. So what I've done is I went through my rocks and I sorted them kind of into what I wanted. So for this, you do as many stone people that are in your family or your house. I have quite a lot of family members. I'm not gonna do them all. Canvas is not big enough. As you can see in the example picture, and I'll put that up right now, I did it as kind of a stacked snowman style. I did that because that's the rock sizes I had at the time. I've gotten these ones now. So what you want to do is you kind of want to figure out how they want to go. So I'm going to do a 4-person family. So general idea is the parents are bigger than the little kids. So I'm gonna do dad as the tall one. I'm gonna do the mom as the taller, secondary tall one. And then I'm going to do little kid and little kid. This is also an option, is doing the snowman style, but because of the size of the dark rocks, I decided to just do the 2 stones. Another option, if you are a single individual, is you can also add your animals. Again, my canvas is not big enough to do me and my animals. So I just turn it sideways, so the straightest part on the bottom, and then I kind of just add a small stone to the top as a head, and then once it's on the canvas, you can paint on details like an eye or a tail, whatever you'd like. So that's kind of an idea for like a dog, a cat, horse, whatever you want. If you get really into this, I know some of the images I was looking at, they also have them carved out, so they actually look like the pieces you want for like ears and paws and that. That's really not something I would do on these videos. So moving on. With my canvas pretty much dry, there's a couple of thicker wet spots. I just gotta figure out which side I want up and which one down, so I'm gonna leave it the way I had it, like this. And then you can choose to either write our family rocks on the bottom like I had on the example, or you can just leave that right off. I'm gonna leave it off and I'm gonna do something else, but I'm going to just place these guys on. And this is the part where if you want to fiddle with how they're placed, do it now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to deal with it once it's got glue on it, and that just tends to be a lot more hassle. Okay, so with your hot glue gun warmed up, you're gonna glue these onto the canvas. Like I said, if you want to put our family rocks on there, leave a good inch or so near the bottom free from the rocks, and that will be your writing area. Otherwise, glue them pretty close to the bottom, and then just put a fair amount of glue on there because you do want these to hold on really well. Now the awesome thing about this is because they're just blank people at this point, you can actually add things to characterize them. So say if you're a parent and your kid always wears a hat, you can paint a little hat on, or even put just a little hat on them. Or say that they're always carrying a little teddy bear around, you can put that on there. So mine are glued. I'm just gonna add some of those details I told you about. So, or say that a family member has a beauty mark on their cheek or something, you can add that to the stone. Totally up to you. So for a beauty mark, I just have a skewer. Just put a little bit of paint, not a lot, and it's a gold, so it's not gonna go, oh my god, it's there, but a different piece. And I'm just going to kind of shape it, and I have to cut that again. And I want it to be kind of like a scarf or a fancy necklace on them, like so. So I mentioned the dog. I'm gonna add a rock dog onto this just to show you what I mean. Just gonna take a thin brush, and I'm going to take whatever color I want, which is silver on this. I'm just gonna put a little on the end so it doesn't blob, but just going to put tail on it. And then I'm putting a little bit on there in the shape of a triangle for kind of like an ear laying down on it. And they're just small little details that's gonna help you realize exactly what it is. And then I'm just gonna take that skewer I did the gold mark for, put a little black on it. I'm just gonna put an eye on it, and I'm just gonna put a little bit on the end for the nose. So what I'm doing is just kind of putting a little black on the silver. That way it's not so, oh my god, what's the silver there for? If your family wears, like if you're doing this and you're doing it as your parents, your siblings, you could, if your father wears a tie or you wear a tie, you can always put a tie on it. Just ignore my horribly painted tie. The only other thing I'm going to do is I am going to write our family rocks, but I'm going to put it kind of across the top. So I'm going to be using gold for this, so there we go. I'm going to leave this as is. I've also seen them done where there's like silhouettes of a tree on it, or even like a photographic background. Very well done. I don't have the artistic talent for that, so I give you the basics and let your imagination and your creativity run wild. But it's pretty simple. I said I was gonna leave it as is. I have another thing to show you. So on the bottom here, you can go Dad, Mom, and because I'm using the skewer, it takes a little bit more. Me. And then you can put your sibling's name or whoever else it was. And I'm just gonna write you because I can. So you can put it like that, and then you can put your dog's name or your cat's name or whatever you want. So it'll kind of tell you who it is without them having to guess. So pretty easy. A lot of different ways to do it depending on who you are, who your family is. If you have a large family like I do and you're all in separate households, you can always do individual households. So yeah. Okay, so that's the craft. Thank you for joining me. As I said, there are lots of different ways for you to do this. If your family loves Halloween, theme it towards Halloween. If your family likes to go snowmobiling, put snowmobiles in the background. Snowmen, whatever you want. I just did the night theme because the canvases I already had a background that was black, so I just went with it. So theme it towards yourselves. Heck, if you guys like baking, put a giant cookie in the background. It's you guys. Go for it. Have a great week, and I will be back next week with another video.